All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Enigmatica 6, aka Ego Waffle 6, aka Evanescent 6, aka Enigmatica 6, aka make up any name you want to. I'm gonna call it whatever I please. So, I hope everyone's doing great today. I know that I am. As you can probably figure, I'm still wearing the same stuff as the previous episode, so I'm actually recording it in the same session. That is just what I do. I don't have the time every single day to record every day. So I'll record in lump sums when I do get a good amount of time to be able to record. So that's ultimately what ends up happening. So it is the same day. But with that being said, in the last episode, just a quick recap, we did get into refined storage, which is amazing. I am so excited to be doing refined storage stuff. We were able to hook in power for it because, as most of you probably already know, refined storage does take a good amount of power. Ooh, I did not place that slab back down. Did we get that slab back? I'll have to go looking for it to make sure. But as you can see, we have it hooked into here. And I don't even have, like, this isn't even running right now, which I think it has diesel in it. This is our diesel generator. I'll have to grab some stuff for it, but that's actually going to kind of factor into one of the things I want to do today, which is get a wireless remote set up for it. So obviously, again, continuation off of what we got set up here. If you want to see the full recap of refined storage, feel free to go back and check the last episode. I'm not going to recap everything. I did go into a little bit of depth on some of the things, but I tried not to spend too much time on it because it's not a new mod. Most of you already know how to go through and get things set up and everything like that. But I didn't gloss over too much stuff. I did take you through at least the initial steps of getting things put in place and how I wanted to do it as well. So anyways, so we are going to need a lever here. We'll grab that. And then we're also going to need that slab. So let's see if we have it in here. It looks like we didn't grab it, which is kind of interesting. So I'll have to grab one, unfortunately, here to put it back in. And then I think we should be set for that. I do want to check how our biodiesel overall is doing. The other thing I would like to get up and going today is a fluid storage disk for our disk drive. Oh, you know what? This is a full block. Oh, whatever. We have the half slab, so we'll throw the half slab down. Oh, it is what it is, right, guys? All right, we'll get this on here. Which I think it has. It should have biodiesel in it. That's the one thing I don't know. There's like no way to really check it, I don't believe. And it should be able to... Okay, stay on, stay off. I think it has biodiesel. We'll have to go check here, guys. I'm a little bit confused as if maybe we don't have any biodiesel to contribute to it. I do need to switch some things up in here at some point in time. So we do need more plant oil and ethanol. We do have a little bit in there, but that's not even connected in, is it? Yeah, I don't even have it connected in. I have to grab a pipe for that because I was trying to get some stuff done. All right, so we're going to have to get some of this going here. So let's do that really quickly. All right, here we go. So we have our industrial squeezer, which I believe... Can we see the recipe? I think it's seeds, right, for this one? Yeah, I think seeds will get us what we need in the squeezer. I always forget, guys. Yeah, plant oil, which will populate into here. And then we'll go over to our fermenter, and then we can throw in all of these berries that we have, and that'll run there as well. And we'll... didn't mean to turn that off. And we'll throw those in as well. That's going to create a lot of both of these. And as these kind of get in here, then we can flip the switch here. And these should start turning into diesel. What is... Oh, it's automatically going out. That's why. Huh. I'm like, why isn't it showing in there? Is it working? Well, it's automatically going all the way over to here already. I wish there was a good way to see it, but... And as you can see, it is running over here, which is nice. Keeping all of that good, but we could turn it off. You might be wondering how we're not hearing all of this. I do have them muffled. You can look in the muffler to turn those specific machines off, because obviously you're probably not going to want to be hearing that run all the time. So, and luckily with our refined storage setup, for the time being, it's a very simple state. So it's not like we are going to be, it's not like we're going to be needing to have it running consistently with power going to it. So it does seem like our power here is somewhat keeping up, but guys, remember this power source right here is only being powered by a singular windmill. That's all we have powering that right there. So again, just keep that in mind. Anyways, so I think that kind of takes care of that. I think it went through all of that. It went through all of those, and it's just creating a bunch of diesel, which kind of will just backlog into these fluid pipes here. Same with those berries. Berries are a really good way of making what you need there in the fermenter because you can get so many of them very easily. And I would like to automate them at some point. So, anywhoosins, let's grab this block of coal here, and we're going to take it over here and throw it in there. We do need some iron. I keep forgetting I don't have to go over there anymore, which is so nice that we don't have to do that. I'm going to grab a bunch of iron here, grab this slag, and throw it in here. Really, we could probably move this slag into our inventory, but for the time being, we are perfectly fine. Anyway, all right. So, into today's tasks. I would like to get a storage disk up and going of fluid. Now, these are relatively, that's interesting how it has this button next to it, and it tells us that we're missing things. Really cool. So I want to get a fluid storage component up and going. Now, in order to get those fluid storage up and going, first of all, I'm going to bookmark them. We're going to need a bucket to get us rolling here. Now, I don't know if it consumes the bucket. We'll find out relatively quick, right? It does look like it does consume the bucket. Yep, we're going to need, what? Probably 3 buckets, because I think that one takes 3, right? And it takes a bucket itself, so we'll need 4 buckets. Throw those all in there, and we will get these crafted up. So 1 more, and then 1 more of those, just like so. We can throw those into here, and then we'll get this going, but we do need basic processors. So let's see, what are we gonna need? Basic processor, we need 4 of those, just like so. And we are going to have to smelt these up. Now we don't have this piping system anymore, so really, we really should take all of that out. And what we'll do is we will just throw it into our furnace here. Now that's going to be another big thing we're going to want to get into is a little bit better tools for smelting. I feel like right now it's okay, but we definitely could be at a better space for it, 100%. So, but obviously, guys, the goal with this fluid storage is to take a lot of this creosote oil and put it away. Now, creosote oil actually has a really good purpose in this pack. If we come over here and we go to how do we spell it again? O, obviously. Don't worry, guys, I don't know how to spell. Creosote oil. You can actually use it in, there we go. Maybe. In a compression dynamo, you can insert creosote oil and it'll actually make a good amount of energy off of it per 1 bucket. That's why I'm holding on to it, because that's a huge source of energy right there. And I'm hoping what we can do is integrating it into our refined storage system, we can just automatically have it pump into a compression dynamo and give us power. Now the power, realistically, I don't know how I ultimately want to set it up. For the time being, it's going to be all over the place. I mean, you already can see how it is. We have power generation here. We have power generation here with water mills. We have power generation via windmill and power generation via diesel generator. But really, we should get them all on the same network. So kind of obviously the ultimate end goal is to get a wireless power network up and going. But that's going to be down the line, obviously, guys. Obviously, I have no idea what that noise was. It was kind of creepy. But anywho, so we should have everything that we need to get this up and going. 256K, that's actually not too bad. It really should easily be able to hold all of these because what? These are 12, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, we're getting there. It's definitely a lot, and it'll be close to it. But I think realistically that should be fine. And especially when we start utilizing it, then we really won't need to worry about a huge backlog of it. So there we go. We got our fluid storage disk up and going. Now we can take this over here and throw it into our disk drive here. Now, the other thing we're going to need with that, though, is a monitor, a grid for that. Now, I believe we have the grid right here. We can do it. It is part of the quest line, and I actually kind of skipped ahead there a little bit. But these are pretty straightforward to make. We are going to need another grid, though. So we are going to need a good amount of components here. But considering we do have this lovely refined storage setup up and going, it shouldn't be too crazy for us to do. So let's get this processor going first. I know we're going to need those. I know that we're also going to need 2 of these. And then on top of that, we are also going to need 2 of these. Now, once we get some automation going, guys, it'll be a lot easier. And I keep talking on automation. I don't really have plans to start automating right now. I'm just kind of setting the, you know, the footer stones of the overall goal in the end to have some good automation going. The other thing we need to be doing, probably in the next episode or the one after that, is going back into bees a little bit more, just to get that passive resource production going. I do need to remember, I kind of have to baby this for a second because I forgot we don't have it automatically output anymore into anything. So we'll grab both of those and we'll come back over here. We'll get this grid up and going. Throw those in there just like so. Grid, we are going to need, we're going to need the other ones as well. So I should have just waited. It is what it is. We'll grab them. Oh, actually, I didn't need those ones just yet. Forgot which ones we're cooking up. I'm going too fast. I'm overlooking things here. So, all right, we are going to need glowstone, which again, I'm going to use the glow cap from. Again, I don't really remember where we got it from, but that's okay. We have them, so we're definitely going to use them. Now we are going to need a machine casing. There we go. And then we're going to need some glass, which I feel like I had some glass cooking up. Let's see here. Do I have glass? I do have glass. Perfect. All right. Throw this in here. A whole stack of glass. Yeah, guys, I can't wait. Like, once I do miss that automation. Like, I do enjoy the grind, don't get me wrong. But the automation side of things is going to be super, super awesome. All right, and there we go. We have our fluid grid, which is pretty cool. Now, we could stick this anywhere, but realistically, we're probably not going to be using it that often. So my plan for the time being is we are just going to take this out right here, and we're going to place it right on in there. Now, I do want to turn this into a stripped log here. So do I have a normal axe in here? It doesn't look like I do, or at least I overlooked it. So let's see if we have any stripped pine logs in our inventory. That we do. Perfect. Okay. And you know what? Before I actually go away here, let's go back to refined storage. We are going to need a pipe here so we can actually hook this in. But we can actually close these walls up now because I didn't have them closed up. I didn't clean up my mess after the last episode. But there we go. Nice and clean. So I'm going to stick this right next to this guy. Just like so. And there we go. Now we have our fluid grid, which I believe in here we can actually then just throw things into them. I'm also going to take our fluid storage disk out and put it back in because it does complete that quest as well. Ooh, we did get 2 of those. Oh, it would have been really nice to hold on to those. I didn't realize you got those from that. And we got another one. Oh, we actually should have enough to make a really high capacity one now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, we can make a really high capacity one if we really wanted to. That's tricky. Do we just bump up to it or do we just leave it as is? I mean, we have them. Are we ever going to use them realistically? That's the thing. I'm kind of tempted to. So we need 4 of these. Let me make it real quick. All right, guys. So I got everything crafted up. I'm actually switching gears a little bit compared to what I wanted to do. So, or what I originally planned to do. I'm going to throw these in here. I actually made up another disk drive. I want this one to be specific for fluids, and then this one be specific for items. Because as you see, if I take this, right? If I take this one here, and I throw it in here, it throws off the overall, like, percentages and things like that. So I kind of want to keep them separate. Just so I can keep a good eye on what are we doing for items, and then what are we doing with fluids. So that's the goal, and then we can put that right above there. And here we go. Now we don't really need it to be that size. We can actually kind of bump it down because realistically, we're not going to have that much fluids in here. So let's see if we can do this easily. I'm going to grab, can I easily grab all these? I think I can, just like so. So we have 14 right here. I think those were all of them. And let's see. Can I easily, I can, kind of. Yeah, I just have to click on all of them. Now, you can use an import if you really wanted to, which is tempting to do. I mean, we could look into doing like an import off these. We could have done the same things with our chests. But again, the speed of those are a little bit slower than me just kind of clicking through here. Now, if we had tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of these, then yeah, I'd probably consider it. Just let it sit and then spend my time doing other things. But really, this should be perfectly fine. All right, cool. Now those are all empty, just like so, and we have what 1,000 or 168,000 millibuckets, so 168 buckets of creosote oil, which is again, guys, a lot of power. Now, I am curious if we can export off of this coke oven, or import, I should say, off this coke oven into there. I know that refined storage obviously has some importers. Don't know if we need a specific one. I think we can just use, yeah, we can just use a normal importer, which I think I have, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we got one from a quest, so I am kind of curious if we could utilize this into here, right off from this, because that is right there. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. I do want that. Can I have that? Thank you. And can I get out of here? I cannot. Okay, so unfortunately, I have to tear down all this work that I had just put into this. So if I put this like so, and I switch this to fluids, it will suck all that out. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to do. Awesome. So we can kind of just leave that as is, and then we can make up a whole slew of whole coke and just have the creosote oil flow directly into the system there, which is awesome. So we don't have to worry about that ever again. Now, unfortunately, we have 14 of these guys that we don't really have a purpose for right now. Now, there's a few things that we can utilize them for in terms of engineers decor, but for the time being, they're just going into storage. So, but guys, totally worth it. I think that turned out amazing. Now we have this setup, so all of that creosote oil is automatically going to go into our fluid setup. And then as you can see down here, we're actually 13% full. So really, when you're looking at fluids, especially in the storage sense here, what you just basically want to do in order to calculate the buckets overall that you have is just chop off the last three numbers, or the last three zeros that you have there. So we have 178 buckets. We can hold 12, about 1,300 buckets in general, excuse me. So 12,000 or 1,280 buckets is in totality what we can hold. Now this is going to be fluids only in here, so we're going to switch that over to that. And then this one is items, obviously. So it doesn't really much matter, but I just want to preference that. And I do like having these two separate. It's just from my OCD organizational perspective that I like having it set up like that. And look at that, guys. We haven't had it looked at that clean since like probably the first or second episode or whenever we built that. I'm super, super thrilled with that. Now this is going to go through and do a lot of work on that. Let's see how much coal we have. I'm curious. Do we have any? Do we have lots of coal? We really don't have lots of coal. That's probably something that we should look into, probably getting a little bit more of. Because coal coke is overall like something really good for us to have a good amount of. Not only for steel, well, mainly for steel production, really. Because at some point in time, we're going to need even more steel than what we have. We do have 18 right there. I'm going to take this slag and I'm going to throw it in here. Now, slag does have some usefulness to it as well. You can actually make rock wool and just sand and a bunch of different things actually you can make out of it, which is pretty cool. So, anywhoosins, we're going to throw it in here and just let that be that. And the sun is setting on us, so let's sleep through the night and get the last thing I want to get up and going from refined storage. And I don't know, maybe that'll wrap up the episode. We went a little bit long in the previous episode, so I don't want to repeat that necessarily. So we do have this one as purple. I probably should change the other one to purple as well. As many of you know who have kept up with the channel, my favorite color is purple. So I like changing what I can to purple when I can. So there we go. Boom. I don't think we could change the disk drives to purple at all, so but that's perfectly fine with me. Anywho, so moving right along, the last thing that I do want to get up and going is a wireless grid. Now, there's a couple different ones that you can do. You can do a wireless grid, you can do a wireless fluid grid, you can do a wireless crafting monitor, or you can do a wireless crafting grid. Now, let me quickly run through these. I'm sure most of you already know them, but just for reference, the wireless grid is just going to allow you to be able to see everything you have in your inventory. Not extremely useful, I would say. It's nice to see things, but you can't really do anything else with them. The wireless fluid grid, same thing, but with your fluids. Basically, what we made over that's on top of our disk drive right now for fluids that we were using before. The wireless crafting monitor is going to allow you to monitor any of the automated crafting you have set up within Refined Storage. We're not to that point yet, so we don't need to worry about it. The final one and the most important one that we want to get up and going is the wireless crafting grid itself. Now, in order to get this going, you are going to have to get either a crafting grid or a wireless grid going, which takes a grid in itself anyway. So it's kind of one half dozen of the other. Like if you make one, there's a roundabout way to get to what you would ultimately want. We are going to need advanced processors. There's a good amount of stuff we are going to need here. We are going to have to get a grid going, so we're going to need more of those, and we're going to need a machine casing. So let's get the machine casing going first. So we have that ready and roaring to go. We're going to need one advanced processor there. One advanced processor there. And that's it. And then two of those. Okay, so we can do that. So two of these, and then, where's this? Two of these. That should be good to go. We'll get those all nice and cooked up. Now, the other thing with this is we're going to have to figure out a good way of charging it. Now, it does take power in order to keep it charged. I'm moving in my seat here. I'm kind of sitting at a weird angle now. But we do need a way to actually power it up. Now, there's a couple different ways that we could do that. One of them is via the power mod. I don't believe Refined Storage has a way to actually power things up wirelessly. They do have a portable grid. I don't think that's what we would need. Fluid grid, yeah, we wouldn't want that. But we're also going to need a couple other components to get it going as well. Other than just the wireless card, we're going to need a wireless terminal for it as well. All right, so we do need these. We are going to have to get more glowstone as per usual. And I do need two of these. Rookie mistake. Two more things to craft up. We'll get those going. Now, on top of that, we are going to need a wireless transmitter. Don't think we need the security manager. And I think wireless transmitter can be died. Network receiver. I don't know if that's what we need. I'm trying to remember everything. I know that the transmitter is definitely something that we're going to want to have. But I think that's about it. Which for that, we're actually going to need another advanced processor and machine casing for. So we're going to have to do a little bit more crafting here. So let me get some components together here, guys. And I'll bring you on back once we're ready to kind of craft stuff up and get things put in place. All right, guys, we are good to go here. We can get our wireless crafting grid just like so. Let's take a look at the progression because that is a quest line progression, right? Wireless crafting grid, which is right here. And then we just need a wireless transmitter, which is really nice. So the transmitters have a base range of 16 blocks. I always forget that. You can extend it though. So we are going to need the transmitter itself. We will grab that. Not too shabby. Now, realistically, we're going to have to figure out where we want to put this. So we do have cabling running all the way over to here. Do we want it a little bit more centralized in our base? so that we're able to access it, because you pretty much can have it go off of any location that you want. So like if we were to come right down here, what we could do is we could actually have it placed in this area here. Trying to get out of this. There we go. We could have it placed like right in here or right over there. And then it would give us a little bit more range than what we currently have. So I'm thinking maybe we will place it here. I am going to cover a lot of this back up. Didn't want to do that. There we go. And I will grab that. Place that back there. Then all we want to do is throw it onto there. So, ooh, it does say 32 blocks. Interesting. Oh, I think it's a radius of 16, maybe. It does say 32, so I don't know, man. I'm kind of curious on that. I know these do take a little bit of power, a little bit more power to run. And if you want to ever check your overall power consumption, you can always go into this and it'll show you how much power you are taking. So I think, yeah, it shows right now we are using 30 FE per tick. That's pretty much what we're using. So nothing too crazy. I think we're in a good place. Now, the other thing we can do, like I was saying, is we can get some range extenders up and going to make it so that is even farther. So the range upgrades, you do need normal upgrades, which do take these improved processors. So we're going to have to get some more of those going. And again, guys, once we have some automation going, it's going to be a blast. We do have that, so we'll grab that. And range upgrade is actually the next thing on the docket here. So that's actually really nice that, that's the option for that. So range upgrade, again, we're going to need a couple of these. And we are out of processor binding. Yeah, we are extremely low. We're going to need some more slimes here soon. But I'll grab like 2. We'll make 4. Why not? We have enough for it. We'll make 4 of those. Are we going to need anything else? No, we should be good. We are going to need ender pearls, though. I should put that back eventually, not just yet, because we need to access that. Now, the other thing, like I was saying, guys, that we're going to need is a way to actually charge up our wireless grid itself. So there's a couple different options, like I was saying. Now, some of them we do have from different mods. So you have a charge pad from Mekanism. That's a little bit more advanced than what realistically we can do right now. The other thing I believe we can do is we could get a flux capacitor. I believe there's a charging table from Thermal Series as well. Or realistically, one of the better things we probably could just get going is not an energy discharger. We definitely don't want to do that. Look for charge. Let me look around a little bit here. All right, guys. So I figured out which direction I wanted to go with being able to charge everything up and get everything going. So as you guys know, we have this. We have all of these things as well to get some of our range upgrades going. So we could definitely do that. Can we make another one? No. Let me see. I have to click off of it. Hey, I think it's freaking out because I need to go to normal, click off, there we go, and we are out of this, that's why. I'll make a good amount more of that. We're definitely gonna have to do some resource hunting once we get done with this. I'll get like 2 upgrades going for the time being, and then, that's where we're gonna struggle, guys. We don't have any ender pearls, or we don't have enough ender pearls right now. So unfortunately, we cannot make our range upgrades, which is okay, I guess, for the time being. So what I will do is I will tuck that away for now. We can at least try it in this vicinity and see how it works. So what I ultimately went with is this charging station here from Immersive Engineering. Basically, what you can do is you can throw things in there and it'll charge your items. So we should be able to throw our wireless crafting grid in there, and bada bing, bada boom, it is all charged up. And then all we got to do now is link this to our network. So we should be able to, we just click it on this. Yes, and then I think it is hooked in. So now we come into here, and as you can see, we can now actually access it from anywhere we want to within a reasonable distance, right? So if I try to come way over here, we still get it, which is really nice. Now, if we were going even farther away, I think the farther away you are, the more power it takes. Wow, this is actually a pretty good distance here. So I guess by default it's 32. Yeah, and as you can see, we get pretty far away here, and it doesn't work anymore. So the other thing I did ultimately get going is this capacitor backpack. Thought this would be useful to be able to kind of keep things a little bit more stored up as we go. So this should store up a decent amount of power within it. I don't know if there's a good way for us to tell. Yeah, it shows us right there, 25,000 of 100,000. So that actually will keep a good amount of power in it. And as you guys can see, I just linked it into our water mill power generation because the only thing that this is powering is this machine here, the blast furnace, and our metal press. Those are the only two things that it is working with right now. We do another block of cold coke. I'll throw it in there. We're going to check on our fluids real quick just to see, make sure everything's working good. As you can see, it did bump up there a little bit more as we have made some more cold coke. But yeah, I think this is awesome. We'll get that back. I think it's fully charged up now, which is perfect. So it'll keep this charged as well, or at least it should keep things charged, is my understanding. It doesn't seem to be doing it though. Maybe I have to activate it. Or maybe it doesn't work with it. Interesting. It might not work with it. Will be a bummer. I was looking in here though, in our book. And if you go under tools, you can go to Capacitor's Backpack and you can take it right here. You can read through some of this. I'll show you. So it charges any tools held in main or offhand, as well as any armor pieces you are wearing. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work with our wireless crafting grid though, which is a little bit of a bummer. Now it does look like we can put this in a slot, the curio slot it says, which I'm not very familiar with. Charm, cosmetic, like, what do you mean the curio slot? Slot head, that's head. Can I just like click it and it'll automatically go in somewhere? I guess it'll go anywhere realistically. Spell focus, bracelet, hands. There should be a way to actually link it as well, but I'm kind of getting over on time here, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. But if we go to refined, I should say, and we go to category, you should be able to open wireless crafting grid, wireless crafting monitor, open portable grid, crafting and monitor, fluid grid, open wireless crafting grid, Control G is what it's set on right now, which is very interesting. I'll put it over there and we'll hit Control G. And it does open it up. I don't know if I want it on that. We'll change it. Let's go to refined. I think I want like Shift Z will be nice to open it. But Shift Z is used for something else as well. All right, I'll have to tinker with it a little bit more and switch it around. But guys, we're gonna have to wrap it up there. I know I said it was gonna be a little bit quicker this episode, but obviously that is not the case. Can I do that? So if I do that, but it doesn't, does it throw what I have in my hand? No, it doesn't. Okay, I just want to make sure that it doesn't throw everything. But yeah, guys, like I said, we're gonna wrap it up there. I hope you all enjoyed this a little bit longer than normal episode. Well, it's right in line with the last one, but I am trying to minimize the length of these episodes, keep them a little bit more fast-paced, more action-packed, things going on, you know, so on and so forth. So, but if you did enjoy this episode, feel free to leave a like down below. Better yet, leave a comment. Always love to hear what you guys have to say. If you are new here and you do want to follow along, highly recommend hitting that subscribe button and bell notification. I'll let you know every single time a new episode is posted here on the channel. We do stream over on Twitch on Mondays and Fridays. The link for that is in the description down below, along with the link to the community Discord. If you feel like joining in the community at all, or just staying up to date with anything around the channel, I do post all of that information over on the Discord. Again, links for both of those in the description down below. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out as we got some more things set up with our refined storage system. I think in the next episode, we are going to move on from there and do a couple other things. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. But guys, with that being said, I will catch you all in that next episode. Take it easy.